See if this works for us today. All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the March 2025 TaxDome update, where we have one of the wonderful team members from TaxDome come in and share with us the latest updates. So you get the latest and greatest about what's new in TaxDome. The value of this is that you know what is available to you in the tool. It's so easy for us to go heads down on our work and not be aware of small changes that can have massive impact on the way in which we use the tool and serve our clients. So Niko is here with us today, and I was just sharing, this is Niko's last time sharing with us. We're going to have one of his colleagues, Mihalo, joining us in the future. And but today we get Niko. So Niko, hello, how are you?
Hi, thanks for having me again, Jamie, and then thanks for everyone who is joining here today. I know we are in tax season, so I hope your tax season is going well, not too stressful, and well, we really appreciate the time and yeah, taking the little time from your busy schedule to meet us here again one more time for the updates.
Yeah. So
We
Niko's
skipped the
going to go
last month, right?
through.
So
Yeah,
we
so go through the blog, and then I just wanted to add, if anyone is watching us live in the Facebook
right.
group, feel free to comment into the comments on this video. I will be glad to relay those to Niko so we can make sure your questions get answered. If you're here live with us in the Zoom, you can comment into the chat and we'll do the same. So Niko,
Perfect.
take it away.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. And well, again, so we skipped the last month updates, and well, we are already in tax season last month as well. But there are a few things which I want to cover from last month, which maybe actually some of you already saw if you actually had the time. But just to make sure for those small changes that we make, and then few things that we released this month, and few things that maybe are not released yet but are coming, or we are planning to release, such as TaxDome payments, for example, which is a huge thing that we're building, or even the bookkeeping integration with QuickBooks, which is another thing that we're building as well, which are not available. So don't look for those yet. Don't need to worry about that yet. We'll be in probably after this quarter, so after the tax season. Hopefully you can use it for all the one that does taxes on the extension deadline, but yeah, it would be probably be a bit after. So that is things that are coming, and I know in our release video, if you had the time to watch it, we posted of how that's going to look, but unfortunately I don't have access to it yet. So that is not something I can share today. But I do have some other nice updates. So I'll go ahead and share my screen and we can talk about those. And the few changes, most of the changes we are making at this time of a year, of course, there are new updates to the product, of course. But it's also a lot of these updates are actually for you that you are already an existing TaxDome user, right? So we are actually maybe fixing a little bit more bugs that we know in some sections we had to fix, and making more updates for existing customers right now, so that all the easy or the use of TaxDome is a bit easier for everyone, for the bunch of features which we have now. Perfect. So maybe just to get started, as you notice, this is my TaxDome portal, and I don't know if some of you are using this already, but we have a light dark mode now, so that's why now it changes the different colors. I'm sure you had that part already. So this is not an update, it's just for you to know that there is a small update on the light bar here. The rest of the section will be available in the future as well. It's not as easy as I wish it was, to switch everything into dark mode, so that's going to be in the future. And Jamie, is it okay if I just go with the updates, or you want to maybe add something in?
No, go ahead. Yeah,
Okay.
let's jump in, and I'll pipe in if I have something of value to
Perfect.
add. So
Right, of course, yeah. And we know, of course, you are in beta testing, so maybe some of the things you actually already test them out as well. Maybe you want to add something that's perfect as well. So right, just going back into the updates which we made. This is just not a feature update. It's just something for you to switch, because once we made the last update, which I think maybe was like 2-3 months ago, where we changed a little bit the redesign of TaxDome. Some of you said that it was too much light or it was too bright, and we understand that. So this change was made for that. It was not as easy to change the rest of the options, which are still planned, but it's going to take a little bit more time to update, well, the rest of the screen.
I did want to add too, Niko, for that. For those people that do feel that it is too white, too light, there are filters that you can get for your computer screen so that it dims, reduces like the blue light on your computer screen. So yeah, dark reader.
I have this one, for example. Yeah, dark reader is what I
Yeah.
use, but yeah,
So
there's a
you
lot of
can
those.
play with some of those. I know some people have feelings about Chrome extensions and security, but there are options out there for anyone that feels that it is exhausting their eyes. I also wear blue light glasses, so you can get
Right.
those on Amazon for like $25. Those can help immensely in the eye fatigue that you have from staring at your screen for many, many hours, which you all are doing right now. So look into that if you don't have it. If you have prescription glasses, you can get blue light filters on. Most doctors do recommend that nowadays. But it makes an immense difference in my eyes and the fatigue in my eyes when I do have to spend a lot of time on the screen. So I just wanted to add those things.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That's great. Yeah, exactly. Like I was previously using the dark reader here. Now sometimes I use it or for something else, but yeah, we are starting at least now directly on the platform with this option here.
That'll be great. That'll be great.
Perfect. Let's go over the next thing. As you can see also on the left menu here on my TaxDome portal, there are a few changes here that are also, we are continuing to work on these changes. One of the things that we just changed and has been released for everybody is the organizers part. Well, as you see now, same as I guess now the rest of the features, the only thing that is missing are emails here. There's a global section for that. This is actually very similar as the global section for the global sections for the proposals or the global sections for the documents that we have been building, right? So it's so that you have a place where you can see all the organizers which you have sent and all the organizers which you have already submitted to your various different clients, and that you don't have to look at them portal by portal or on the inbox notification by notification to understand which ones are really pending.
Yeah.
Which, if of course, if they're built to a workflow, maybe you were not checking them anyway, but yeah, we do have a global section here.
I know I have a number of people that have found this to save their heinies this tax season because they're able to filter on things like the submitted date,
Right.
and also see what organizers are out for a section of clients. So it has been a very helpful feature already. And I believe you guys are working on one for communications as well in the future, correct? Like a global communications tab.
Global communication, exactly. Yeah. So with that part, there's a few updates there. I'm going to cover them in a second, so we can go about the team chat section here as well, which you see now. They make it easier for me and they add this little beta section, so I know it's in beta. But yeah, there are a few changes on that. Before I switch into that, I do want to talk a little bit about these organizers. So and it's actually a huge update, which I think probably most of you were actually waiting, is this option to synchronize data from the answers that your clients are giving into the CRM. This is really a feature that is going to update just your client's information under the account section or even under the contact section for updating existing clients' information or entering new clients' information, maybe from new clients that you are getting every day. So what this function does is that once the client answers an organizers, and as you know, we have, well, quite some features already on the organizers, like mark which questions you reviewed, choose where the documents are going to be saved, have a specific tab for documents, etc. This new change is a very nice change for just managing data and avoiding having to, well, manually enter the data that the client answered into if it's a tax software or any other software, but also in TaxDome to keep the data updated. So this function here allows you that based on what the client answers, you can choose a specific field or custom field where that information should go. If you choose the account, that information will go directly under the account fields. If you choose the contact like that, let's say that here, this is the person name, you choose that you want to sync this information, you can choose a specific field for that account, which you already have. Or if you want to put it under an actual contact, let's say, for example, do I have something for name? I probably don't have a name here. All right, let's see what I have as a state. I'm just gonna put anything. But if you choose, once you choose, if you choose the account, it will just go like the main taxpayer, or you can choose if that information should go under a specific contact custom field as well. So you do have to pay attention to that, exactly where you want to save it. You still have to do that, but once you choose and you map out, well, the fields that you actually want to synchronize into the CRM data, that information will then be transferred and updated into your accounts in TaxDome.
And if I understand that correctly, you can set that at the template level too, what that field is, and then all you have to do is select the contact the next time. Is that correct?
Exactly. That's correct. Yes. For the contacts, you always have to select it. If you have like two contacts, then you always have to select, or even actually if you have one, you still have to select or review that it's actually going to the right place where you want it to go.
Yeah.
But yes, that is what it will do. So this option, yeah, is now available for everybody, which I think it's very important for existing customers, right? It's not really a feature that we would use on a demo or to explain, but for you guys that are already using TaxDome, it helps and it should save you some time and not having to manually enter all that data.
Yeah.
So that was one important information about that. About the team chat, I don't know, is there any questions about this or Jamie, anything maybe you want to
I don't
add
see
on
any
this part if we test that out?
questions.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any questions right now. So
Perfect. So let's go back about the communication and the team chat, which I have here. We're making some changes on the communication part, and there is going to probably also be a communication section that also then includes the chats, the SMS, the rest of the features. That is not there yet. What we just made, and I'm sure you guys are using this already because I think this was in February, which where we actually released that from beta, so for everybody, is that on the communication section in TaxDome on the chat, you do have the internal option now to chat with your customers and with your staff at the same time. So this is just like, well, a Slack message, or if you have some features that you chat with your clients, maybe not through TaxDome or like a chatbot. I use this on the chatbot on my TaxDome side, but it's a feature where you guys can just chat with your clients through the chat, but also make internal notes. And also tag, of course, that specific person that maybe needs to look at that chat with the client or review the information that the client is submitting and things like that. So this is an important part just for internal communication yet. And the next step into that is to put all together, and we are creating a feature for you guys to replace or have a similar feature as Slack or Teams or something like that. In this section, I have actually not used it that much, but will allow you to create different channels for different types of communications. Some of those channels can be public or private, and you are going to soon then also be able to, of course, send private messages, private communications, like direct messages between the different employees. This team chat section is really just internal, right? So not with your clients. It's just for you to post updates and ask questions and log in and, well, actually like a similar updates like Slack currently does. We are not that advanced yet with all of the features, but this is kind of the idea of what we are building in this part.
And Niko, how do people get notified when those messages are going out?
So this is usually just a message, and once you get a direct message, then there will be a notification on the Inbox Plus and by email, same as the other notifications that you do. This is more like a channel thing where you just, same as Slack basically, where you just go into there and you post an update or a question, and then you can, I think the tagging option is not available yet. Oh, it is already. Then you can tag someone, and then the person gets an email and the notification on the Inbox Plus.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's great. I know Jessica's been using it. One thing I would recommend is that anyone that's using this or any communication within TaxDome for your team, that you have strict SOPs about where things go, how you communicate as a team. That is going to help you keep your brains straight and know where to go to look for details. So for the workflows for tax pros people, we're going to be releasing some best practices around that in the near future. But it's just something that I think everyone should have on their radar if they're going to start using these tools within TaxDome, so that you don't have important details getting lost in a team chat that should really be on a client job or on the account, and you're not having to go hunt it down.
Of course. Yeah, and it's important, like that difference between, or maybe just internally, every firm has to understand and talk with their staff about the difference of what is really something that maybe can be public and that we're talking internally, and what information really needs to be stored under a client portal. Also for having it all stored under one place, which is what TaxDome really does, and then allowing you next year, next month, whatever, just to go back and know that that information is there. And yeah, like you said, not just lost on an old thread somewhere, which maybe it's hard to find. Yeah. So this is a very, very early part or very early mock feature about what is really going to be. It's like the first release that we get to see. I'm sure they will update these options here as well.
Yeah, awesome.
So these are, the updates on that. What else do I have? Okay, the next thing I can actually show you in this section, and I mean, this is really just also for everybody that is using TaxDome already. There's nothing too much to learn about this section, but what we just released is a lot of more options. Actually, sorry. a lot of more options on, I'm just going to use a tag, but we have a lot of more options on the filtering sections as well. So we have an enhance and not only just on the account list, but on all the other tabs as well. More options where you can select specific tags or specific information that you're looking for, and maybe a specific tag, and I don't know, a specific invoice, and any of all of the selected one or none of the selected one, or exclude all of these ones, but accept that specific type. So this is just really more enhancement for existing firms to allow you to search and filter faster for the information that you want to see. So I'm sure many of you use the filter part already, but yeah, this is just adding more ability to filter more information on the filtering options in this part. So this is just a small update there, but I'm sure that you like that updates for filtering purposes there. One thing that we did update as well, which I actually found really nice, and I was thinking, I think it was Beth that asked about the stamp, and we don't have the stamp feature yet to save it. But what we did is we worked a little bit on the documents, and they're already signing the whole document section. I'm just going to open just a document here for you guys to see. So this is how previously the document was opened in TaxDome, right? Just like on the middle of the screen, and there was a lot of body, a lot of space, which was unused on the actual screen. We added a couple of options at the top to make it simple. So now you don't have to click on the vertical dots to request a signature, or to move it, or to download it, or to print, or to seal it, which those options are still, of course, available on the 3 vertical dots, but now they are a bit easier accessible on the top here. And we also added the option to make the document full screen, basically, so that you can just see the document here. Of course, this is a vertical document, so it doesn't fit my screen because it's not horizontal, but yeah, it does look bigger and makes it a bit more easier to manage, which I know that some firms, based on feedback, were saying, yeah, that this is what they were looking for. So this option has changed there. One other change on the document part. This is actually very simple, but I think it's useful for, well, especially for those clients that have many portals, or that you are doing multiple services for, and maybe they upload a document into the wrong place, which previously you then have to download, or you do it through the drive. Right now, whenever you are working on a folder or a document, and you actually want to move that document somewhere else, you do have the option then to move it directly into another client's portal. Pay attention with this, because if you make a mistake, then it just goes to a random client, which maybe does not supposed to get that document, but it's just a little bit of an easy way to transfer documents there.
Yeah, do be careful with that.
Exactly, yeah. So it is a very cool thing. Just pay attention of where exactly you're clicking for which client it should go. But yeah, it's just an easy way on that part. All right, I think that's mostly it. What we did is we did some redesign on the actual emails. You know that in TaxDome we have your email synchronization feature, but we actually have also the internal emails, the system emails is what we call them, that we are sending to your clients to let them know that you have requested a signature, that you have requested a contract, whatever those systems emails are. We actually updated those system emails now. They look, well, in my perspective, a lot better. Your logo shows up first. There's a lot more information there. Just for everybody to remember where you can actually manage what goes into those emails. It is on your settings. And there's now a lot of sections here where you can choose and manage what information goes into those system emails, which you cannot edit how they look like or what that system email says, but you can manage based on the firm details that you have, if your logo should show up, if your contacts will show, basically a little bit the format of that email, right? They are still our emails that we are sending to your clients to let them know, so you cannot edit those ones. Maybe in the future we will. But as of now, we just changed the redesign to make it look a bit, well, nicer and professional with a dedicated marketing team that actually did that part.
Yeah,
This
they
is
did
not
a
an
nice
update,
job.
but just for you to know, yeah.
I will add one note. If you are on an older version of Outlook and you are receiving these messages yourself, the new design is not playing friendly with the older version. The team at TaxDome is aware of that. So if you're like, oh, this changed and it's not helpful, or it looks awful, just know that is due to the version of Outlook you are on, and that TaxDome is working on a solution for that. So yours will be pretty
there was a
no
search
time
of that.
soon. No time flat.
Exactly.
And are those system, or like, did those email changes go out system wide?
Yeah, it's system-wide, right?
Okay,
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah, system-wide. There was also another thing that I don't know exactly who provided feedback on this, but and I'm sure you guys are aware, but I think it was last month in February, we released the option to archive notifications for everyone, which is really cool. But then we found an issue that maybe someone by mistake could actually deactivate or archive all those notifications for the whole firm, which maybe is not a good thing. So now they are working on the option to have an access right to control who can
Oh,
archive notifications and who cannot. I checked this morning, it's not available yet on my portal, but I know they're already actively working on that so that you can actually choose between the team who can and who cannot do those things
okay.
on that part.
Well, that's good.
I think really that mostly it as far as updates. Jamie, I don't have anything else to really show you. What is it, archive access, right? Yeah, there are some other few updates on teams and plans. And on the settings and under the restrictions, but you guys can take a look later, maybe after tax season, if you guys want to look at. You remember previously we released the roles and that you can now assign specific team members to a specific roles and that you can just give them
Oh,
access to those clients with that, right? So let's say you have different roles in TaxDome. Once you go under a specific client portal, let's say here, I'm just looking at the client and let's just load. There we go. So this is the update, which I think I mentioned, I remember mentioning this, but let me just clarify this part. So we have the accounts role in TaxDome, right? So you can choose and create as many account roles as you want to. And then every time you go under a client portal, you can then select which specific employee, these are my employees, which I currently have on my account, have that specific role between that business for that specific client. It's also not a firm-wide thing, right? So it's a client by client thing that you select, okay, the account manager for this specific client should be, I don't know, let's say Mark right here. So Mark is the account manager, but maybe for a completely different client, that account manager is someone else. But this is just internal information for you to understand who is working on that client and what it's their role for that specific client information. So based on that, there are also some changes on the actual settings that we have for the employees actually, and the actual role as you register them in TaxDome. So there's a few more changes here, a few more settings which we added to control about security and who can view the information, who can manage it, and the rates and all those informations, which is maybe important to take a look. Yeah, once you guys have time for that as well.
cool.
As far as
Awesome.
update, that is everything for my side. Yet nothing more for me to show you as of now. I will keep, of course, in touch with Mihailo, and I'm still waiting for the desktop app to be released completely so that we can actually show the new desktop app for everybody that uses a Mac. That I know that's a long-waited solution.
Yeah,
That is, yeah, it did not work as expected, so they are still planning and working on that. And then, of course, we'll talk about the tax on payments and how those would work once we have access to that.
cool. Yeah, and the TaxDome payments is going to be a big change, a good change, a lot of
Right.
opportunity there for everyone. Um, I just want to ask if anyone has questions that they would like to ask on the Facebook group or here on the Zoom. Feel free to ask away. Can do those now, or if there aren't any questions, we
I
can.
have a
Yeah.
brief question.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liz.
And something that I don't know if maybe I can't find it, but do we have the option to rotate documents as you're looking at a document right now?
Rotate documents. Actually, not sure, but let's take a look. I think you cannot rotate. I think you can actually just split them, but let me just open one and we
No,
can
you
just,
can. So if you open it and you go to edit, um,
maybe it's
it's not edit
someone.
info. So it's actually, Nico, it's underneath that menu that you just,
Yeah, okay, so it's between, not the three vertical dots, you see
yeah.
somewhere
So
here,
if you
right?
click on the picture sign, I think it is. Um,
No, stamp image. Yeah, there are so many options here. Document editor, document, let's see,
yeah, the
document.
editor, that's the one.
Yeah, there
So
you go.
if
Yeah,
you click on it,
yeah, then you just click and
then
then you
you
can
can
rotate.
rotate them, Luis. So under the document editor, and if
Yeah,
you have multiple pages, you can rotate some, rotate others,
yeah,
delete, add, all those things.
exactly. So just to recap, it's under the pencil icon here that says edit document and then document editor. And then once you select the page that you want to rotate, you will see the options at the top.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you there. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Good
that's
stuff.
a critical one when you have those work papers together, huh?
Right.
You're like trying to crank your neck to read it.
Oh yeah, or when you have some receipt that it's on the side and you want to look at that exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And Louise, I'll add to Nico, if you don't mind going back to the documents section
Yeah.
there, just
Mhm.
you can if you have somebody who uploads like say multiple pieces, you can select those two documents
Yeah,
and then
and
you
then
can do a
merge.
merge, yes, and you can merge it. And so you can merge it into a group. And then from there, then you can take those multiple sheets and you can rotate them and put them into the order that you want and like drag and drop to create your work papers all in one package. So it's a lot of efficiency there. And once you merge it, then you can even move it into your private folder so that the original receipts stay there in the client uploaded folder if that's what you choose to do as your policy. And then you can move your work papers down to the private folder where they're secured and safe for your future access in your document maintenance. So yeah, so it's a lot of people, you know, it's not the full effect of Adobe, but it's all right here in TaxDome. So it saves you those steps of having to download and upload and do all the things. You can do it all right in TaxDome.
Perfect.
Cool. Thanks, Niko.
Liz, thanks for your question, Liz. That's great. So it makes me remember where those options are.
Yeah.
All right. Then I appreciate everybody joining. I don't know, Jamie, if you want to add anything else.
No, I just want to say, remember, guys, to take care of yourselves. Get your blue blockers, get your walking pad so you can move your body and not sit all day long. It's going to help you have more energy in the long run. Drink lots of water. Just make sure that you're taking care of yourselves as we head into the stressful next few weeks. And remember your boundaries. If you told your clients they had to have their stuff to you on March 15th and they didn't do it or they were going to go on extension, then put them on extension. Don't make yourself don't break your back, make your life a living hell because your clients aren't actually making their taxes a priority. Like do what you can to get the stuff in, but also say, I'm not working on March 15th April 15th until 2 in the morning to get your stuff done. So I'm going to be done by April 10th and then be done. Set your boundaries. It's your business. Your clients, if they go on extension, it's not the end of the world. They just need to be educated that an extension does not mean anything bad. We can do it in May. We can do it in June. Just create the business you want, guys. You get to choose. So choose. So that's my
Good advice. Yeah, good advice. And you give them all the methods, all the options for them to communicate with you and to give you
Yeah.
that information. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. You've been communicating with them. It's not on you. Just remember that. All right. All right, Niko, thank you. Everyone that was here live with us, thank you so much. If you're catching the replay, make sure that you let us know if we can be of assistance to help you get these things set up after tax season. And we're so excited for what TaxDome has coming this year. It's going to be great.
perfect. I wish everybody a rest of a good tax season and
Yes.
of course, a nice rest of the day.
I second that. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you again soon. Cheers.
Bye-bye.